Well, hello. So, I'm looking at the cards, and a lot of people, want to know how they can work with them. One of the things that I found really useful, and you can do this either way. You can pick them randomly, or you can go in order, like do the majors first, and then take each suit and do them. But what is really fun to do, I want to pick one that might be a little bit harder, not necessarily the Fool, but you have this card, and to journal, some I've been given some pretty good ideas on how to journal, but you know really I have found, and the first focus is really important. What is your focus on this card? Is it the dead tree? Is it the person looking at themselves? Is it the mirror? Is it the swords blocking their way? What is the first thing you see? We know that the Nine of Swords is about anxiety and, yeah, basically anxiousness. And, but this card looks a little different. And I'm totally drawn to that. And I'm drawn to that because anxiety is in our own head. And, I feel like this cat or whatever is looking at themselves and, really causing their own beliefs. And maybe they can't, because it's all mirrors around. They don't see that they really can get out. They might have to pick up the swords a little bit, but they're anxious and they're going to go in circles. And I think the dead trees are just a reminder of that this is a hard time when we're dealing with thoughts and um, anxiety, that these can be hard times. And it's not pretty in the background. There's nothing pretty about this card. There's nothing that draws me to it. But when you're journaling, journal like, anything that you feel, um, your senses, use all your senses. Do you taste something when you see this card? Do you smell something when you see this card? How do you feel? How does it make you feel? What's your first reaction? What do you first see? What's your first color you see? Make I'm not going to use someone else's forms, but you can make your own on what makes sense to you. So what I do when I journal is I do say, okay, how does it make me feel? What's the first thing I notice in the card? After I pay attention to the card for a while, is there another focus that I've missed or that I feel like is very important? How can I use this card today? I always say, how can I use this card to help me today? Or to make me realize or open my eyes, or, just how can I use it? And then I make notes on that. Is there path working too can be done. You can go into the card a little bit and actually meditate on the card and actually picture yourself going into the card. And how does that make you feel? Because that's a whole different way to get into a card. I think journaling is important. I think if you want to get to know the tarot, do a daily reading for yourself, a 3 card. How is the day? I do one that is, what do I need to know today? Sometimes I can really read it well, and sometimes I can't read it at all because it's myself. And sometimes I read what I want to happen instead of, the truth. So it's hard, but at the same time, even if you're just doing a daily 3 card reading for yourself, you're at least looking at the cards every day, and you're making that story so that if you have 3 cards laying out that you pull, what is the story for today? What am I, because the tarot is about the story. So you have these 3 cards laying out, and you can read these as a story. The day is going to start where I'm looking at myself and I'm not trusting what I'm doing. My anxiety is a little high and I'm not seeing anything good. But as the day progresses, or as this progresses, now I've kind of come out of that, and I think I can create this, and I am able to make this new cake. I've been able to focus and really put my thoughts into creating something new. But in the end, I know that I need to change some things up, because if I am going to not feel this Nine of Swords in the future, I need to make sure that things are changed and that I change myself, which this Eight of Pentacles is going to allow me to change because it is all about creating new things. And then that's going to lead to my transformation. And now, keep in mind too, on daily readings for yourself, they aren't these huge, big things all the time. Sometimes they're just something really, really small. This transformation, it's kind of a scary card to get, but it could be something very small. It's something that you just need to realize that you can do well. Maybe if you're having a bad morning and you realize that you can make a cake or whatever it is that you realize, then you can kind of lean towards that direction, which will kind of transform you into going from anxiety to being creative. So those are just some suggestions on what to look for, how to journal, a short reading, kind of how they go together. We'll also do some mapping on when you see cards come up together. But I'm going to do these 3-card readings on occasion. I might even videotape my own readings in the morning so that we can kind of have something to compare to as the days go on, because a lot of it too is, are there repeated cards? And if you do journaling, so you do your 3-card reading in the morning, you journal what you think it is, and then save room, and hopefully that day you can come back and kind of journal what really happened that day. Then kind of compare notes, and that will give you really good idea on what the cards mean for you. So it's kind of like looking at it backwards as well when you're first learning it. It's also comparing, this happened yesterday and I got this card 3 days in a row. What's going on and why am I getting it? That kind of thing. So that's what I do. And the other thing that you might consider doing to keep you motivated in it is, what do I need today to help inspire my day? And just pick a random card and use that card as a focus. So like if you were to pull the 3 of Pentacles, to me, that tells me that I need to master something. So if I were to pull this as an action card, I would say to myself, you know what? I need to really focus on something, and instead of just being okay with it, I need to find a way to master it. So whether it's something at work or something at home, let's say at home I'm struggling with keeping my house clean or doing the dishes or something just simple like that. This card may help me say, you know what, I really need to learn how to master keeping my house organized or keeping it upkeep, or I really need to master getting up on time for work, or these type of things. It doesn't have to be necessarily something big, but how can I use this today? So there you have it. Some good ideas on how to journal and what to look for in a little 3-card reading for yourself. So I hope you can use some of these ideas.